And we are ready for baseball here in Bondurant, Iowa. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Tiger Broadcast. My name's Kale Sleezer, and it is once again my honor and privilege to be the voice of Gilbert Tigers baseball this season. For anyone who remembers the instant classic here last year, these Tigers beat the then 13th-ranked Bondurant-Farrar Blue Jays by a score of 4-3. The Blue Jays are rolling to start the year this year. They are 3-0. And in the middle of a suspended game from last night against Urbandale, they had to cut that one short after 4 innings at a 1-1 tie. That will be finished at a later date, but as of now, the Blue Jays are undefeated. Meanwhile, the Tigers, while they do have a 1-2 record, it's a scrappy 1-2. They lost a close one in a valiant comeback effort against Van Meter on Saturday, and tonight they will face the Blue Jay on the mound, Cole Miller. Miller, a cornerstone of this team, coming back in his senior season. His pitching numbers from last year in 9 games, a 6-1 record, had the most wins on this Bondurant-Farrar team. 189 ERA, 40 strikeouts, and 44 1/3 innings pitched. Miller has been sharp. The Tigers lineup is as follows. Tommy McGuire on the mound and leading off. Alden Short in right field. Tripp Sturgill at first. Seth Popish is DHing for the designated player in left field, Mike Aleva. Ian Eldred batting 5th, playing shortstop. Josh Grauwinkle batting 6th at 2nd, followed by the catcher Blake Bell, the third baseman Matt Zaz, and making his season debut for the Tigers after a successful track season, Braden Howard bats 9th in center field. And we are about ready to get going here in Bondurant-Farrar. Thanks to the 7 of you that are here with us. A very important PSA, if you will. We are having some power issues tonight. We are running on computer battery, and my computer projection says we have about 41 minutes of that battery left. So we are crossing our fingers that we can make it through 2 innings here on the main Tiger Broadcast mobile unit, as that's a called strike to start festivities tonight on Tommy McGuire. Athletic Director Ian Smith has given me access to the Tiger Broadcast channel on my phone, so when this stream inevitably goes down, as the count is 1-1, we will have a backup stream coming from my personal iPhone 16. So I have worked through worse. We will figure it out, but we've got baseball as it's 2-1 on Tommy McGuire. I do have a backup stream scheduled, titled the same as the stream you see now, with asterisk backup stream, as that's ripped up the middle for a base hit. Tommy McGuire with a leadoff single to start the night. And here comes Alden Short, who has 2 doubles on the year. Not sure if that backup stream link will work, however, as I'm messing around with the scheduled live streams on the Tiger Broadcast phone unit. There will be some sort of other live link from the phone coming up once our computer dies here, as it's 39 minutes away from its inevitable demise. Next offering from Miller, that's popped up, that'll get foul out of play. Count is 1-1. So in case, folks, this stream does die, can refresh the channel page of Tiger Broadcast. There should be another live link that pops up there later. As that throwback to first gets away, Tommy McGuire's going to round second. He's going to try for third and then stop. Would have been close. He stopped about a third of the way to third. But it is an E1 that advances Tommy to second. The story in this game last year was built on the Bondurant defense, which fell apart a little bit. Their pitchers gave up 7 walks, allowed 6 stolen bases as that's fouled away, and had 3 errors, and already 1 error tonight. Their catcher last year, Drew Peltz, got ran on a lot. He did graduate. The man behind the plate tonight for the Blue Jays is Braden Dutton. So we'll see how adventurous the Tigers are on the base paths tonight. That's hit well to left center field. That ball is back. That ball's going to get down. McGuire being waved around. He's coming home. There's going to be a play at the plate. And Tommy outruns it. It's an RBI double for Alden Short doing the jelly leg celebration we've come to know and love. Tigers on the board early. It's 1-0. That's Short's third double of the year in 3 games plus 1 at-bat, so continuing from a very good season last year where he batted over 400 and had almost a 600 on-base percentage. We'll see if Sturgill can continue his hot streak to start the year as that's swung on and missed for a strike. Thanks to the 11 of you here with us. Hopefully we can at least get through the first inning and a half, 2 innings before we need to switch to the phone unit for the stream. That one's a called strike. Count 0-2. Sturgill, 2 hits, a double, and 3 RBI in 3 games this season. He has been the beat that has made this Tigers offense go. That is tapped on the ground. That is just foul. Down the third baseline. That threaded Coach Gall in third base almost perfectly. Foul by 3 feet at most. Sturgill awaits another 0-2. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. Miller took something off that one for strike 3. And that is the first Tiger retired. And here comes Seth Popish. I mentioned this before. I'll probably mention it a few more times before the season is over. Usually on road games, I travel with Blake Bell's parents, my aunt and uncle, Brett and Alice. We were talking on the way over here about how last year's matchup went as Popish takes a ball. The Tigers were very disciplined, drew a lot of walks. And Popish this year has drawn a lot of walks. He's been very disciplined so far. That one is hit well to center field, but playable. Catch made, and taking a few steps and then stopping is Alden Short. Popish has 2 walks already this year, but flew out there, and there's 2 away for Ian Eldred. Score that one an F8 for Popish. Squared up very well. Just couldn't quite find grass. Tigers squared up a lot of good baseballs back on Saturday too, but that Bulldog outfield and Van Meter flagged down a lot of tough fought balls. So that is a called strike on Eldred. Eldred ran wild here last year, had 4 stolen bases in last year's matchup. Looking to add some insurance here with Alden Short on second, getting a modest lead as that misses for ball number 1. One and 1, 2 away, runner on second. Tigers looking to stun the Blue Jays for the 2nd year in a row. Check swing, foul. That almost gets back to the parking lot. Parking lot is located very close to the field here. Have to be very careful about where you park here because most of the parking spots are within foul ball range. So if you ever come to a game here in Bondurant, get here early, get a good parking spot far away from the field. And that is called strike 3. And that ends the top of the first. But the Tigers strike first with an RBI double from Alden Short, scoring Tommy McGuire after his leadoff single. We'll be back with the bottom of the first in just a moment. And we're back with the bottom of the first here on Tiger Broadcast. The lefty Tommy McGuire will hopefully get his chance for a first true start. Was on the mound opening day against Pleasantville before that game was cut short after 2 innings. Tommy's numbers from last year, as we'll dig those up on Varsity Bound. We'll navigate to last year's stats. Leadoff man Jordan Ryle at shortstop takes a ball to start the J offense for the night. Tommy McGuire's pitching numbers. He had a 2-4 record last year with a 3.55 ERA as that's fouled into the glove for strike 1. 38 strikeouts and 45 1/3 innings pitched. That one just tails out of the zone, 2-1. Jordan Ryle, one of the senior leaders on these Blue Jays this year. He batted .330 with a .483 on base last year as he takes a strike at the knees. Had 15 RBI and 32 starts last season. And in the matchup last season, Ryle had 2 hits. Tommy looking to curb that tonight, and that's not going to help as he plunks Ryle in the leg. And the leadoff man is on. Here's Braden Dutton, the catcher. Thanks to the 14 of you here with us. In case any of you missed the spiel at the beginning of the broadcast, we are not running on any power tonight. The computer is dying and dying fast as I'm at 28% on the main Tiger Broadcast mobile unit. When this stream dies, we will set up another one very quickly on my phone. Thanks to Gilbert Athletic Director Ian Smith for getting me signed in on that quickly. As that one tails for a ball. Big lead at first. Bunt shown, it's popped up. It'll get behind Bell, 1-1. And it looks like the Bondurant press box is having some issues of their own, as I think the speakers are on static right now. Don't know how well you folks can hear that, but technology does not want to work here tonight in Bondurant. But we will make do with what we have. I've worked through worse. Throw back to first. No play. In case any of you folks want to check out some highlights from last year's action, there are links to 2 videos in the description of this stream. A nice pick off at first by Trip Sturgill, and then that thrilling bottom of the 7th inning. There goes the runner. Throw back to first. Now to second. And he's out. Good reaction by Tommy McGuire for the pickoff. And that'll be a caught stealing. Base runner erased. 1 away. And I'm sure Trip Sturgill is very happy about that one after that move he replicated last year. That one misses for a ball. And that one misses as well. Count 3-1. Dutton's numbers last year didn't play much. Now the starting catcher after the departure of the J catcher from last year is it's now 3-2. Does McGuire dial up the signature curveball here? That one's popped up. That will get foul out of play. A bunch of kids scramble for that foul ball. I think there's a foul ball prize here tonight. I didn't quite catch it here on the speakers, but back in my Indiana broadcasting days, we'd call that a flying dollar. There's another flying dollar out of play if you return a ball to the concession stand at the Griffith Generals ballpark in Griffith, Indiana for the Northern League. You get $1. So if Zach Hampel ever goes to a Generals game in Indiana, he'll make a lot of money. Count is still 3-2. Called! Strike 3 right at the knees. Good offering from Tommy McGuire and fights back for out number 2. Tiger pitching has shown great grit so far this year. They've gotten behind in some counts, but they've battled back in most of them. Good punch out from Tommy there for his first strikeout of the night. Here's Cole Miller, the man on the mound, looking to help his own cause after he gave up a run in the top of the inning. Takes strike one. Miller had a 2-run single to count for 2 of the 3 J runs last year. That's tapped foul off of Miller. He'll walk it off. That one will hurt in the morning. Miller last year batted .250, had a .336 on base, and had a home run and 12 RBI, and started all 32 games last year. That is down 0-2 to Tommy here. Here's the pitch. That one is hit, and one hops into center field for a base hit as Tommy McGuire throws it back into the infield, so good 2-strike battle. That's the first hit of the game for the Jays. Sounds like Mason Frost will courtesy run at first. And that'll bring up the cleanup man, Parker Ernst, who was 0 for 3 in the matchup last year, but on the year he was .340 with a .443 on base as he takes a strike. 29 RBI in 32 starts last year. He was the RBI leader for these Jays. At least the most RBI for returning players, as that's fouled away. A lot of graduating Blue Jays from last year. Jacob Roberts, Drew Peltz, Dawson Ehlers, Aiden McDonald, Carter Goodwin all started at least 19 games. Throw back to first. That's going to get away. And rounding second and going to third is Miller, and he will dive in safely. So the Tigers and Blue Jays exchange E1s. Count is 0-2, but runner now at third. See if Tommy can get himself out of this mess. That one's a bit high for a ball. Should the inning continue, Tyson Ben, the third baseman, awaits on deck. That one is flared into center. That gets past Eldred for a base hit, so that error does come back to bite Tommy. And we are tied at 1 in the bottom of inning number 1. So an RBI single for Parker Ernst. And Tyson Bain, as the press box corrects me there. Bain steps in, the number 5 batter. And that one just misses for a ball. Good frame by Bell, but couldn't quite get the call. There's a strike. Count 1-1 as our computer battery just hit eco savings at 24% and dropping. So hopefully we can get through one more inning before we need to switch the stream. That's on the ground to shortstop. Eldred cleanly gloves. Throw to first is in time. But the Blue Jays tie the game. It's 1-1 after 1 here in Bondurant. Beautiful night for baseball. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back in a moment. Grauwinkle, Belzaz, 6-7-8. Coming up for the Tigers. Offensive duels so far as both teams struck in the first. Grauwinkle takes a strike. That one gets in the dirt and squibs behind Dutton for a ball. What we might do, folks, is after the next viable half inning, or maybe at the end of the second inning, we'll just cut the stream here during the break so we have time to flip over to the phone. We'll see how the battery holds up as the count is now 1-2. So our computer battery now reads at 23 minutes and draining. That's on the ground to third. It's cleanly gloved. Throw to first. Strong throw on the money. Bain to Potabom for out number 1. So for any of you folks who tuned in on that shortened opening day stream against Pleasantville, I am currently putting together a highlight tape for Blake. Watch for a first pitch swing here. He takes there for a ball. We've noticed a fascinating pattern with Blake as we've compiled some footage for his tape. Whenever there's 2 outs and a runner in scoring position, as he checks and holds for ball 2, Blake is good at first pitch swings, put in play for hits, with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. That's how the Tigers won at Ballard last year, as that tails away 3-0. Bell drove in a single in Game 2 of the doubleheader against Saydell last week on an RBI, and he drove in an RBI with a 2-out first pitch single against the Bulldogs Saturday as he takes a strike. It's amazing what you discover when you watch highlight footage literally hundreds of times. You discover a pattern. That's popped up, flying dollar out of play. Now Cole Miller takes his turn of fighting back in the count. Had 2 strikeouts in the first inning. Payoff pitch. Called strike 3. Bell thought he had ball 4. It clipped the corner for out number 2. Third strikeout for Miller. And here comes Matt Zaz. Zaz at the hot corner again. It's been his spot this year. So that one clips the corner for a strike. That one misses low for ball 1. See if we can dig up Zazzy's numbers from last year. That one misses just low for a ball. Next offering to Zaz. That misses 3-1. Tigers doing a good job of staying patient and getting ahead in counts. But Zaz's numbers last year, 194 average, 242 on base, 3 RBI in 17 games. Started 9 of those games, and there's ball 4. Zaz walks on 5 pitches. And here comes Braden Howard in his varsity debut this year. Just finished a very successful track season. I'm going to give Braden a nickname, and we're going to make it stick. Braden Howard, from this day forward, will be known as Mr. Hustle. He had an absurd amount of infield singles last year. He reminds me of Nico Horner with the Cubs. He doesn't hit it hard, but he hits it well. And a throwback to first might pick off Zaz here. And they do, as that unceremoniously ends the inning. So Mr. Hustle will get a chance to start the 3rd inning. As we go to the bottom of the second, still 1-1, Tigers over the Blue Jays. We'll go another half inning and then flip over to the phone stream. So keep your eyes on that. Back in a moment. Coy, Steenhoek, Will, Pottebaum, Cooper, Goodwin. 6, 7, 8 coming up for the Blue Jays here in the bottom of the second. Hopefully we can make it through this next half inning with 15 minutes of battery left before we switch to streaming from the phone. So that one is a called strike. After this half inning, we'll switch over to the phone. We won't even bother changing the title of the stream. It will be called Tiger Broadcast is Live. So that one is squared up to center. Tommy McGuire makes the catch. That ball handcuffed him a little bit, but tracked it and made the catch, and we'll score that one an L8. So at the conclusion of this half inning, we'll cut this stream, start another one from the phone, which should hold up for the rest of the game. The stream will be called Tiger Broadcast is Live. So in case you folks randomly see this stream stop, check out the Tiger Broadcast stream page. A new stream should hopefully be started within 30 seconds of this one being terminated. I've got it just about ready to go on the phone. And we will make do with what we have. So that one misses for ball one. There's good Verizon signal out here, and there's no Canadian wildfire smoke. Back 2 years ago when I was in Indiana, that's a swing and a miss, the Canadian wildfire smoke was so bad that, it's my theory at least, that it cut the internet so bad that we weren't able to stream for a couple of nights out there, as that is swung on and missed for strike 3, as Pottebaum's retired via the punch-out. Tommy McGuire's second. So here comes Goodwin, the DH. He's DHing for Max Simmons, the second baseman. And Tommy is absolutely attacking this inning. He is wasting no time on the mound, already winding up for the 0-1. That one is flared. This should get foul. And it's foul down the left field line, 0-2. Tommy looking to put together a very quick 1-2-3 inning. And the 0-2. That one's just a bit high. So it gets by Bell there for ball one. No runners on base, so no harm, no foul. Tommy looking to put together the first 1-2-3 inning of this ball game. And he does! Swing and a miss for a punch out. And stay tuned, folks. We're going to hop to another live stream here. We're going to cut right now. We'll see you in a moment.